Hi, my name is Mara Dimitrov, and the author that I will be talking about is Djuna Barnes. This is a picture of Barnes, and one quote that really stood out to me is, "Dreams have only the pigmentation of fact." Before moving to Paris, Djuna Barnes lived in New York, where she wrote for several popular magazines, such as Smart Set and Vanity Fair. At this time, she also had her first major publication, and she had some minor success as a playwright. In the early 1920s, Barnes moved to Paris, where she joined a group of literary and artistic women on the left bank, which included, among others, Gertrude Stein and Alice B. Tolkis, Janet Flanner, and Sylvia Beach and Adrienne Moner. After publishing Knightwood, which is her most popular work, Barnes slowed down her writing and pulled away from these women, and then she left Paris and moved back to New York, where she lived alone until she died. Barnes employs literary techniques akin to, and in part derived from, James Joyce's flamboyant display of style, T.S. Eliot's borrowing from literary history, and Urza Pound's thematic montage of fragments. Yet her use of these modernistic techniques far extends what Craig Owens calls the self-critical tendency of modernism, its self-reflective and ironic foregrounding of the impulse device, and approaches the deconstructive impulse. Barnes takes all of these modernistic elements and she uses them in her own way to create sort of her own style inside of modernism. Some experts believe that this would be more postmodernism rather than traditional modernism. While Barnes lived in Paris, she lived on the left bank. Other people that lived on the left bank that were really big in modernism would be people like Gertrude Stein and some men like Pablo Picasso. So while she was there, she was surrounded by all of these really important people for modernism. At this time, she was also in a relationship with Thelma Wood before they split in 1928 due to Barnes wanting to be in a monogamous relationship while Wood wanted to be in an open relationship and she wanted everyone in the world. Barnes's first major publication that she published while she was still in New York is called The Book of Repulsive Women. It's 8 rhymes and 5 drawings. When she was in Paris, one of her first publications was Writer. It's more of a homogeneous style book rather than some of her later works like Lady's Almanac, which she actually published under the pen name A Lady of Fashion. It's believed that she did this to separate herself from the lesbians and people who would go to places such as Barney's Salon. Djuna Barnes' most popular work is Knightwood. Many critics believe that it is autobiographical, and it's about not only her relationship with Thelma Wood, but also her relationship with the other woman on the left bank. Although Barnes lived on the left bank, she often tried to separate herself from Natalie Barney and her sapphic salon. When asked about her sexuality, Djuna Barnes is reported to have answered, "I'm not a lesbian, I just loved Thelma." Many view the Ladies' Almanac as an attack at lesbians rather than some sort of insider view, due to statements that Barnes made during this time about not being a lesbian, and some people view it as internalized homophobia, preventing her from accepting that she is a lesbian and that she's gay, when at the time you were either gay or you were straight. It was seen as more of a black and white, where in modern times we view sexuality as more of a spectrum and you can fall in many different places of it, and it's less of a title and more of an experience. So rather than internalized homophobia that was preventing her from labeling herself as a lesbian, it could be that she felt pressured by having to choose labels, and she felt that calling herself a lesbian would be putting herself inside of these lines. Thank you for your time.